it's really an honor to come here and greet you and to pay tribute to Phil Johnston. Before Phil was 30 years of age, he made the two most wise, profound judgments in his whole life. First, he married Beverly. And secondly, he moved to Marshfield. And over these many years, people have come to know, love, respect, and admire Phil Johnston for a whole host of things. Not only was he the executive director of the Robert F. Kennedy Action Corps, a state representative, Secretary of Human Services, wisely appointed by Governor Caucus to that position, a candidate for Congress, and most recently, chairman of the state Democratic Party. A tenure which has resulted in the most successful number of Democratic elected offices in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts in its history. It bears repeating, the whole congressional delegation, 2 U.S. senators, 10 congressmen are Democrats in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. The governor is a Democrat in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. The Speaker of the House and the first woman President of the Senate are Democrats. And needless to say, the overwhelming majority in both the Senate and the House are Democrats. Due in no small part to the hard work, the dedication, and the commitment of the man we honor tonight, Phil Johnston. There are two traits that I most admire about Phil. One is his dedication to public service, and the other is his commitment to the Democratic Party. And there's a symbiotic relationship in these two traits that is unique among the individuals I've had the pleasure of meeting in my life. And I think it goes to the very fact that Phil was born in the year that Franklin Delano Roosevelt won his 4th term as President of the United States. Now, Phil's two greatest heroes are Franklin and Eleanor, and he's wont to, on occasion, make a pilgrimage to their homestead. His other great hero is Robert F. Kennedy. And with those heroes behind him, there is no other person I have met who so enjoys public life. He truly gets energized by it. He truly is vitalized by it. There's always a smile on his face when he's around people. And kind of a metaphor for Phil is this little story with which I'll end. It speaks both to his care for others, even those who stand alone, and for his humor. Bobby tells me about this. It was on a trip to Ireland. It was his first trip to Ireland. And he landed at Shannon, and it was a Sunday morning, and he said, I need to go to church. So off to church he went. And unfortunately for Phil and the rest of the congregation, the pastor of the church who was preaching the sermon was one of these old fire and brimstone, right out of the 1940s and 50s kind of sermon. And he went on and on for 15 or 20 minutes talking about the fires of hell. And Phil listened attentively, and finally at a point in the sermon, the priest looked out on the filled congregation and said, "All you who want to go to heaven, please stand up." And the whole congregation stood up. And then he looked out again and he said, "All you who want to go to hell, please stand up." And he looked down, and there, standing all alone, was Phil Johnston. And the good priest looked down and he said, "My good man, do you tell me you want to go to hell?" And Phil replied, "No, Father, but I didn't want to leave yourself standing there all alone."